Welcome back, boys and girls, to another video with your boy King Jiffy Coats. And today we have a very interesting topic for you. And it's all because your boys at PlayStation announced their games for the month. And one of them took keen interest into my mind. It brought back the recesses of a void that I had forgotten about. And that game is the Callisto Protocol. Now, when this game came out, I heard from the developers of Dead Space comes another genius, brilliant game starring your boy Josh Duhamel, where he is a space truck driver, man, and his whole world gets topsy-turvy, twisted upside down by the bitch from The Boys. That's right, she's from The Boys. You need to play this game. This game's good. It wants you to be inside of it, and you end up in the prison in the world of Riddick from Chronicles of Butcher Bay. You know that prison. It's basically the same thing. And wait, that's not all. One of the guards is Star Killer. Oh my god, this is gonna be the game of the century. It's so you sitting there with all the hell that breaks loose in this prison. All of a sudden, people start morphing into these creepy critters and all sorts of monsters, and only you in your space arsenal of guns can take them on. Oh wait, telekinesis too? Oh my god, wait, this is starting to sound really familiar. That's right, boys and girls, it's Dead Space. It's Dead Space, but different. It's not the same thing. This game feels like a knockoff of Dead Space, except for instead of you getting your cool little plasma cutter and awesome ass, like, dismember mechanics, no, this game's gonna do something different. It gives you a stun baton and dodging. Yes, that's right. Instead of all the cool stuff of Dead Space, you get dodging, and I know what you're thinking. I'm there with you. You're like, oh no, that sounds cool. The Matrix meets Dead Space with a bonking stick? That sounds kinda hype, except for it doesn't play that way. It doesn't feel that way. You think it's basically piss and shit versions of that, right? Because when you go to do your dodging, you think you're gonna be like Ippo in that boxing anime. You're like, wah, you can't catch me, I'm too fast. Wabba labba ding dong, I'm cool. You end up feeling like two fat guys slapboxing in a hallway because the game's dodge mechanics tied to the joysticks, which always feels funky. And when you get surrounded by enemies, they feel like you're getting gangbanged because the camera's zooming on your goddamn shoulder. It's absolutely moronic. And when this happens, you feel like you're getting gritted on by zombies. It's absolutely just a nightmare. And I know what you're thinking. Well, what about the telekinesis? I'll just use that. That's gotta be cool. I'll just flip people across the room. But you don't really get that, because the telekinesis sucks. You just basically half-shove things and just hope that it kind of gets things done. It never really feels intuitive or powerful whatsoever. But don't get me wrong, guys. This game does have some, like, W's in its corner. It's not an absolute piece of trash. It's not like a game like Redfall where it has no redeeming quality. First redeeming quality of this game is my graphics. They are freaking gorgeous. This game is a stunner. It's a fucking jaw dropper, panty dropper, drippy pussy beautiful game. It is a very good looking game. From top to bottom, it is pretty, and that's something I have to give this game. But I also think that might be a bigger problem in gaming right now, and it's not this game's fault, but it's an overall industry's fault, because I hate this more than I hate, like, loot box bad microtransactions or killing gaming stuff, because these studios are focusing more on the graphical fidelity of a game than the actual gameplay itself. It's like, look how realistic our graphics look. Yeah, no one cares. The gameplay isn't that freaking fun, so why would I care about how pretty the game is? Because I have played some, like, down and dirty, terrible looking games that had absolutely fantastically fun gameplay loops, and that's a fact. I've played some games that look like they came out in 1992, but they play better than something that came out yesterday with the most pristine graphics on the market. But I do have to still say this is a very graphically beautiful game. Now, the next part we're going to talk about is shooting. The shooting in this game feels really fun. It feels just like Dead Space, and that is something that I did enjoy this. The one downside is The dismemberment isn't really where I need it to be, but at the same time, it does feel fluid. It feels fun. The different gun combinations you can make are really good. Is it as good as Dead Space 3? No, but it does feel like it has like some of the identity of Dead Space 3 and Dead Space 2, but at the same time, it never really fully develops itself to where it becomes as good as those. It always feels like a pale imitation. It's like the PBR of like Dead Space like games, or like the RE4 style games. It's over there on the shelf and you're like, I think I'm gonna get myself a Stella, and then some guy grabs a PBR, you know he's gonna go home and beat his wife while he ducks and dodges and weaves their hits, just like he thinks he's some sort of Matrix Dead Space guy. It's just kind of a weird game, and the story was fine. I never actually got all the way through the game because, like I said, there's so many things fighting against this game, and also the amount of like upsetness, the sheer lack of interest I had gained, because I bought this game day one, $70, threw that down the drain, jumped into this game, was like, I'm ready for a new Dead Space experience, because I love Dead Space in 2 and 3. I have not played Dead Space 1. I'm going to. But I'm kind of in this rocky road with this, because I bought this game because I was like, I want the new experience, and I should have just waited to buy Dead Space. Honestly, I should have just got Dead Space. I probably would have been a lot happier, because I was waiting to play Dead Space 1 for the remake, and I played 2 and 3 back in the day. I played 3 for the first time this year, which is 3 is way underrated. 3 is better than the Callisto Protocol. I will die on that hill. Dead Space 3 slaps compared to the Callisto Protocol. And so when I'm playing the Callisto Protocol, I just felt like it was just such a slap in the face because people were out there like, oh, this is from the creators of Dead Space. Look at this. Everything in this game says it wants to be Dead Space, except for the dodge mechanic, which it heavily focuses on, but you can tell the mechanic wasn't developed enough mechanically to be sound enough to run a whole game on. And not to mention the load times in this game. And I don't mean like it has loading screens. You crawl from point A to point B, from point C to point D, to glom that D down your throat so that you can get that sweet seed. That's what you're getting with this game. It's probably the worst part of the game is the crawling, or the shimmying between zones, or it's all hidden loading screens, and this game has so many of them because it focused more on graphics than it did gameplay, so you're spending more time with your cinematic zones and things looking pretty, and then crawling between zones, and a lot of the enemies feel cheap and uninspired, so at the end of the day, you kind of get like a cheap, uninspired game. But with it being on PlayStation Plus for free, it's definitely worth picking up. I would not buy this game, though. I wouldn't tell anybody to buy this game. But for free, if you have PlayStation Plus, save it to your library. It's worth the save. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful time. Like, comment, and subscribe, you goddamn losers.